Oh, Kaylin doesn't like black men, is what is said to me on a daily basis.
Pretty mind, pretty grind, yeah, I said what I said. Manifesting better things while we lay edges to bed.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Pretty Mind channel where we talk beauty, mindset, and everything in between. So today's video is basically a compilation of black girls telling their stories, whether it's dating or at work or just everything else in general. And if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're feeling generous. Have a nice day.
Oh, Kaylin doesn't like black men, is what is said to me on a daily basis. And I just want to clear my name. I feel like this is said to black women and people don't understand what's going on beneath the surface of that. So I want to talk about that today. And this is going to be my personal experience, so please don't come for me. This is what has happened to me, okay? It's happened to me, like HRH, to me. This is my experience, okay? So, and I have to say it like that because I already know how people are going to come at me for talking about this, but I feel like a lot of my black girls will relate. So what I want to first start out by saying is that in high school, I did date a black guy and for 3 years. And I'm not saying that to defend myself in any way. I really don't have to, but I'm saying that so I can set the story for you guys. And so you guys can know that I ain't got a type. Bad bitches is the only thing that I like, okay? So then I go to college. And so you guys know, the college I went to Amherst College, which is a very, very small school, and it's a very selective school. Just off the bat, there's already going to be a smaller pool of black people. Among that small group of an already small campus, there's going to be an even smaller percentage that I personally find attractive. Okay, now, and one might say, oh, but Kaylin, that same kind of justification applies to the black men as well. There's not that many black women, and especially there's not probably going to be as many black women that they find attractive. And that would be true if you were operating under something other than the patriarchy. Let me explain. Men are the ones that go up to women and ask them on a date or ask them for their number or go like spit game match. That is what happens. Usually it's not the woman that has to go up to a man and be like, oh, I find you attractive. Did it go on a date with me? That's crazy. I would never be doing that. I don't know why, no, absolutely not. So therefore, if the black women aren't doing that and they find the black men attractive, the black men are the ones that are going to have to go up to the black women and say something to them. And that is not what happened to me or to a lot of the black women who were at my school as well. That was not their experience. A lot of those guys were going on dates or going to formals with white women, okay? People have said to me, oh, Kaylin, maybe they're just intimidated by you and they're too scared to go up to talk. They're not too scared to go up to the white women. Why should I have to grovel and supplicate myself to a black man to be like, please go on a date with me, please, please pick me and sit. Why would I do that? You're listening to the story and you follow me and you know what I do now and you're looking with your eyes on the camera right now, you probably think, Kaylin, how is this happening to you? And to that I would say, I don't know. I'm not thinking that I'm like the most beautiful girl in the whole world. However, I was one of the only, if not the only person at that campus at that time who was getting paid for the way that they looked. What kind of is like even crazier about it is that the way that they talked to me and the way that they talked about me was like, I remember one, maybe you'll see this, but I remember one being like, Kaylin, as like a beautiful woman, and he was like, I'm not trying to hit on you, but like an objective fact, like you're beautiful. And I found this guy attractive, you guys, and he thought I was attractive, but I wasn't getting asked on a date. I wouldn't, like, it's like so confusing. Then it's like, okay, so Kaylin, like you never got asked on a date or anything or asked formals in college? I did, you guys, but who was coming up to me and who was asking me on these dates? White men. Sorry. And after I go to formal with a white guy, then the black guys are like, oh, Kaylin likes white guy, blah, blah. And it's like, you guys, would you rather me stay at home kind of traumatizing experience because it's very frustrating and invalidating. You feel like you're living in a different universe a little. I feel like I was also kind of traumatized by when the whole Megan Thee Stallion thing happened. So many black men that I knew were like posting supporting Tory Lanez and stuff, and I was just like, you guys don't even like him like that. You've never posted him before. You literally are just doing this to be against Megan. And that really affected me. And just overall having so many opinions about our hair and what we do and how we act and how we dress. And it's like, oh my gosh. One might say to that, like, Kaylin, like, yeah, the black men might make jokes and mock black women. Yeah, but white men, they're evil. And to that I say, feels different coming from white men than black men. And let me explain. To me, when a white man makes fun or mocks or is racist towards a black woman, like, yeah, that hurts, but it's obviously like, okay, I'm gonna stay away from them. It feels like a stranger disrespecting you, which is like, it hurts obviously, but a black man who has a black mother does it to you, it feels like your family member said something horrible to you, like your close family member, like, totally disrespected you. Like, it hurts you for longer. It like traumatizes you just a little bit. Harder to move on after it. Then outside of college, I still kind of have the same circle, and now I'm in this modeling world. Is the reality like the black men who are also in this world are either rich, or they are athletes who are also rich, or they're like famous, or they're just in this world. So it's kind of like the same circle as my college, but just magnified. And so who are they going for? The same women that the guys in college were going for. When I'm at these functions, very rarely do white men come up to me and flirt with me or say anything to me or ask me on a date. It just always happens to be the white men. So then for people to be like, oh, you only date white men, like trying to make me feel guilty about it, when it's like, so one might say, well, Kaylin, like, if there's not that many black men in the circles that you're in now, and the ones that are in your circle aren't looking for you, then maybe you should go outside. Like, basically trying to say, like, why don't you date the bus driver? Like, that Twitter argument. And it's like, you guys, Clark made a video. I love her. I think she made a video about this too. But it's like, I studied hard to get to the school that I was in. I worked so hard. I cultivated my whole personality and was bold enough to get into the rooms that I get into. Why should I have to reach down to date somebody who's not even coming after me? It's like, you guys don't do that to any other race. Don't do it to us. Other people have told me, like, oh, you just look like you like white guys. Like, black guys probably don't even come up to you because you just look like you. What is that supposed to mean? What, like, honestly, what does that mean? What I'm trying to say is I am attracted, but it's just like, at some point you have to be attracted to what you're attracting, okay? And not what you're not attracting. That'd be bad self-esteem if I was trying to chase after these black men that are chasing after white women. So yeah, that's what I had to say. And if you're a black woman, don't let them make you feel guilty or shamed for going on a date with a white man. And if you're a black man, I don't know, if you're cute and on my level, then ask me on a date or something.
Lately, I've been discovering that I like stuff that's medium ghetto. If it's on a percentage of ghetto and extremely ghetto is like 100%, I'll probably like 20-25% ghetto. After that, I don't want no parts. That goes for music, environments, people. If it's too ghetto, I just don't fit in. Get me out of there. You know, like, I'm never going to act like I'm some ghetto girl. I want to fight you and, you know, I'm about to bitch. I'm going to whoop your... That's not me. That's not who I am. And I am A-okay with that. Even certain music, like when they get to talking about pop that dude is, it's a little much for me. I'm kind of like a 90s R&B type of gal. Yeah.
Y'all. Let me tell y'all what happened to me at work today. So when I go to work, I don't be doing all that talking. I go in, clock in, do my work, clock out, go home. Like, that is all I be caring about, right? But there's this boy at my job. He's very talkative, very outgoing, all this other stuff. So whenever he talks to me, of course, I talk back. So he comes in today, hey, Maddie, how you doing? I'm just, I'm good, blah, blah. I have a little conversation. That's it. Tell me why. Like, 2 minutes later, he comes back and he's talking to a guy that's sitting like 2 desks away from me. And he's talking to him, but he's talking loud enough so that I can hear it because he wants me to hear it. So he's just like, hey, so-and-so, did I tell you that Maddie has on my favorite shoes today? Because y'all know I be in the office real drippy, okay? So now I'm dragged into the conversation. And we're just talking about, like, oh, when I got my shoes, if I bought them retail, talking about resale prices, blah, blah, all this other stuff. Cool. The conversation's over. Everybody goes back to their work. 30 seconds later. 30 seconds, y'all. 30 seconds, okay? So I'm not tripping because it was so soon. 30 seconds later, the guy that was 2 desks away from me was just like, dang, Maddie, like, was it a hard decision? And, of course, me, I'm just sitting there thinking, like, was it a hard decision to, like, put these shoes with this outfit? So I'm responding. I'm just like, oh, no, it wasn't that hard. Like, it was just, you know, all black. I just needed an all black shoe. But before I can even say it was all black, I just needed an all black shoe. After I say, no, it wasn't really that hard, he interrupts me, y'all. He interrupts me. And he interrupts me to say, oh, yeah, my wife just cut her hair, too. Huh? When did we start talking about hair? So now it's a lot going on in my mind, right? A lot going on in my mind. And I'm just like, okay, this man's talking about hair. He asking me, was it a hard decision to cut my hair? So, of course, as any black girl does, I'm going along with the lie. Just like, oh, no, you know, it's just hair. Who cares? Like, it is what it is, right? So then he starts asking me more questions and more questions. He's just like, so how long were you growing it? Like, were you planning to do? Like, how did you feel? All this other stuff. So now I'm in fucking deep. And it made me realize, y'all, I just had a whole nother wig in my head. It was red and straight and long. Okay, cool. Before that, I had braids in my head. Black, long. Before that, I had a red wig, curly, long. Before that, I had a blonde wig, curly. So I'm just thinking, did he think all this was my real hair? Like, does he think I'm just dyeing my hair and cutting my hair and styling it and just doing all this different shit to my hair all the time? And who am I to break it to him? Oh, no, this is not my hair. This is a wig in the middle of this office. What? So, of course, I just got the man just thinking, just telling him a whole life story that ain't never fucking happened. Y'all, then it dawned on me that I'm getting a whole nother wig on Saturday. Blonde. He's going to lose his shit when he see me next week. So now I'm thinking, what am I going to tell him? Like, how am I going to save myself? Because I'm in deep at this point. I'm just going to have to teach him about shrinkage because, baby, yeah, this my hair too.
Guys, I grew up in this really small Swedish town, and I'm not joking when I tell you there were like 10 black people in the entire school, and racism was very common. Anyways, I had this thing called Bilddagboken. It was like an Instagram for that time, and I was obsessed with the black and white filter, so all of my pictures I would post was black and white. And at that time I didn't get any attention from boys because I was black and it was not very popular, and so boys wouldn't approach me. Nobody had a crush on me, and if they did, they wouldn't tell me. And yeah, so this guy suddenly texted me on Bilddagboken, and he's not from my school, but we have mutuals, so I understand that he lives close by. So I'm very happy. I'm like, oh my god, a guy finally likes me. I can't believe this is happening. It was like a miracle back then. I was so happy. Every day I would open Bilddagboken, smiling, giggling, you know, I was just so happy. And then suddenly this guy says that he's gonna visit my school, like, I don't know, very soon. And I got excited, and when the day came, I put on my prettiest outfit. I was so happy that day. And then I saw him at my school, and he just stared at me. Like, he didn't say hi, he didn't hug me, he didn't do anything. He just stared at me, and I was confused. I was like, why is he just staring at me? But I couldn't say anything either because I was kind of shy when it came to boys because I had no experience. And I went home that day and I was feeling so sad. Like, I was questioning why he didn't text me. But then I got to my computer and I saw that I had a message at Bilddagboken. And when I opened the message, he had written the N-word and blocked me.
Get ready with me while I tell you the worst ways I've been rejected. But first, if you see this on your FYP, comment FYP. Okay, so the first way I got rejected was basically in 4th grade. Okay, so we're gonna call him DeMarco. And so basically I had a crush on DeMarco. So basically me and DeMarco were in the same reading group, but me and DeMarco weren't each other's reading partners. Like, we had different reading partners.
So basically one day, DeMarco's reading partner and my reading partner got to arguing. Like, y'all, they got to arguing so bad they done ripped the book we was reading. So basically our reading teacher was like, y'all finna have to go sit to the side. Y'all doing too much. And she was like, Destiny, you and DeMarco finish reading. So y'all, I'm just geeked. I'm like, oh my goodness, me and my future man reading together. So basically, me and DeMarco is reading. And when I tell y'all, this is the best I've ever read in my life. My dyslexic life, this is the best I've ever read. So y'all, we were popcorn reading, and basically DeMarco's like, wow, I really liked reading with you. So y'all, basically, when our partners come back to the table, he tells them, I want Destiny to be my reading partner now. He's like, yeah, I want to switch reading partners. And I'm like, y'all, I'm geeked. I'm really geeked about it. I'm like, oh my goodness, this really could be my man. We could read together. Like, we gonna be partners doing projects together and stuff. And y'all, DeMarco's reading partner, she did not like me. Like, I don't know what it was growing up, but a lot of people just did not like me. So y'all, basically, my partner and DeMarco's reading partner was like, nah, don't be partners with her. She's weird. Like, they really told him that. And y'all know what he did? He was just like, yeah, y'all right. What? So y'all, that's basically what happened with the first one. Okay, so the next way I got rejected, it was in multiple different ways I got rejected from this man. So we gonna call him Peppermint. Like, y'all, Peppermint will always be joking. He would like, get away from me, GTFO away from me. I'd be like, no, I'm not. Y'all, he took that really serious one day. Y'all, he has this account, so I hope he does not see this video. So y'all, this was at the end of school year and we was studying for exams. Y'all, I was texting Peppermint that day and I was like, oh, where are you at? What are you doing? You know? And he was being so dry with me, y'all. Like, he did not want to talk to me. So, not gonna lie, while we was doing activities, because we could also like do activities and stuff instead of studying, I was just like walking around trying to find what class he was in. Because not gonna lie, I also needed help. So I was trying to look for him, but get help. And y'all, I walked past his class and my friend said, hey, ain't that Peppermint? Oh, there he was, sitting down, doing his work. And so basically then, I walk into class. Y'all, I walk up to him, he says, get away from me. After the first time, most people would get away. I did not. So I keep trying to talk to Peppermint and start a conversation. Y'all, it was not going good. So basically, I'm joking back and forth with him. And I'm like, you better stop or I give you a hug. At my big age. So basically ask him, do he want a hug? And he's like, no, I do not want a hug. Get away from me. He's not saying it in like, get away from me, you're weird kind of way, you know? He's saying it in like a joking tone. Because y'all, we would joke back and forth. So he's saying it in a joking way. And I'm like, no, I'm going to give you a hug. I'm going to give you a hug. So mind you, he's sitting down in a chair and I'm standing up. So I just give him a hug. So y'all, not gonna lie, he doesn't hug me back. It's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. I'm just happy there wasn't a lot of people in that class. But after that, he was laughing at me, y'all. He was laughing. I seen him later in the hallway with somebody and they were laughing. And so later on, I found out that Peppermint was taken and yeah. So y'all, that's basically it for the video. Let me know in the comments below y'all worst rejections. Bye, y'all.
Am I wrong for calling off my wedding and telling my fiance to move back home with his mommy? I'm not even going to try and swing this in my favor here by leaving out details or sugarcoating anything because I was mean about it and he was crying. I've been with my fiance for 7 years and we've been engaged for 3 years. We've gone ahead and tried to save the date 4 times now, and every single time his mom convinces him to postpone. It's always a, well, don't you think you have bigger things to worry about? Whether it be our living situation, we're renting and she thinks we should buy first because we aren't stable, or our money situation. This was her excuse after we loaned her $8,000 so she didn't lose her house, but we have plenty of money as my husband's an RN and I'm a lawyer. There's just always something. We planned for a family gathering in my mom's backyard. She has 3 acres and a beautiful pond and it's just perfect. And we're doing a potluck, so very low cost wedding. Plus, everyone we know lives within an hour of the location, so only giving a month or 2 notice is perfectly acceptable in our case. With all this said, his mom has 0 reason to try and sway us against it. But her newest argument is that we need to wait until our daughter's at least 3 and she can be our flower girl. She's 7 months old right now. Well, in December, my husband and I talked and we decided we wanted to get married in August. I told him, don't let your mom dictate it. and he said he wouldn't and that he was tired of listening to her. Fair enough. But last weekend, my mother and his mother both came for dinner, and I was talking to my mom about what I wanted her to wear as the matron of honor. My husband's mom asked when we planned to tell her we decided on a date, and my husband said when we told everyone else. She got quiet, and shortly after, she left. My husband ended up going to her house while I stayed with my mom to drink some wine. When he got back, he was super quiet, but said he was just tired and went to bed. But last night, he randomly said, my mom kind of has a point. Maybe we should wait until we're more stable. It's not like it'll be a long time, 5 years at most. I just took my ring off and handed it to him and said I was no longer interested. He immediately started protesting and trying to put the ring back on, but I told him he should just move back home with his mommy because I know for a fact that woman will make another excuse the second we buy a house, and I'm really just so turned off at the thought of marrying him. I have zero business being with a man who has no backbone and would put our lives on hold in favor of a woman who still wants to scrub his back in the shower. He ended up leaving, crying the whole time, and I do feel bad because that's the love of my life. His mom ended up blowing me up trying to plead her case, but I simply told her she won. She could have her baby boy back, and then I blocked her. Am I wrong?
No one talks about growing up the ugly friend that was never actually ugly. I was just black. Being a black girl was like an automatic write-off. What do you mean you're black? You're ugly. That's what you are. Like, I remember anytime me and my friends would go out, like all my friends were white, by the way, and anytime we would go out, like different groups of boys would come up to us, but honestly, it would be like I wasn't even there. I wouldn't even get a hello. The most I'd get is this. Ugh. Like, why have you brought your pet monkey out with you? Pure invisible. Every other day it was black girls this, black girls that, black, 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 black. Until I think it was around like sixth form. This is like 2014/2015. It started to switch. This was when Afrobeat started coming up. Now it was cool to be black. It was cool to be African. It was cool to be Nigerian. Whereas a couple of weeks before, that was illegal. Then all of a sudden I'm getting, oh, you know, Taimi's kind of like, Taimi's what? Taimi was Jabinho last week, or whatever other football players you guys like to compare me to. I remember around the early stages where it started to switch around. We went out. I think it was my 18th. I just turned 18. For reference, this is what I look like at 18. Sorry, that's actually very cute. But anyway, we went out and I remember there was this like group of white boys and one of them was like, oh, I like her, like pointing at me. And then my friend at the time was like, wait, who? And then pointed out one of the other white girls that we were with. Like, of course it can't be Taimi you're talking about, not the monkey. So then he was like, no, her, that girl, pointing at me again. Then she came up to me and was like, oh, you're never gonna guess what? He just said that he prefers you over, let's say the girl's name is Kelly. She literally came up to me with excitement and shock. He just said that he prefers you over Kelly. She said it like it was, whoa, what? What's going on with all of that? Like it couldn't be possible. Thankfully, I always had high self-esteem. Like I knew who I was from a very early age. Because if not, I would have grown up thinking I was butt ugly all that time. It was when I got to uni that the appreciation actually started to settle in. What a life.
At the ripe age of 19, I discovered that I could make money by being pretty. Let's get into it. Story time. So I was leaving an 18+ club and I was approached by this man and he was like, oh my gosh, you're stunning, you're stunning. And I was like, thank you, thank you. I continue walking, shredding my stuff. He's like, no, you're seriously the most stunning woman I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, can I get some money for being stunning and pretty? And he was like, yeah, what's your Venmo? And I was like, give me your phone. Type it in. And I was like, want to send me like $1,000? And he was like, whoa. And I was like, okay, like how about 300? I know that's a big jump, but you know, I had to be reasonable. And he was like, okay, yeah, 300. And I was like, and he's like, actually 400. And I was like, 400. That night I made $400 for being pretty. Some may not believe this. I put this on everything. I'm just walking down the street, guys. Walking down the street. Sometimes you're just at the right place at the right time, I tell you. But here's the kicker, everyone. So 2 years later, that ended up being my boss. Yeah. So that was very awkward. Don't think he remembered though, because that night he could tell he was a little under the influence. Was he taken advantage of? I don't think so. He DM'd me on Instagram the next day, so I think we're all good, but that's my story. You can receive money from doing literally nothing.
I'm gonna hurt some feelings with this one, but we have the Black community to blame for racism still existing. Even though we didn't create racism, we are the reason why we're still oppressed. The Black community is very picky choosy. As soon as white people do something racist towards Black people, we are quick to speak up about it. But when Black people are doing harm to their own community, it's silent. Just in case you've been living under a rock. The Black community is colorist, texturist, featurist, transphobic, homophobic, misogynistic. I mean, we accept pedophiles in our homes. Yet we've normalized all those issues in our own community. And then we're delusional enough to think we're able to fight racism while our community is so divided. I hate to be the one to say it, but y'all need to hear it. The Black community needs to start taking accountability. You guys are way too silent about the issues in our own community. Very quick to ignore it and sometimes perpetuate it. That is why the Black community has gone nowhere and why we will continue to get nowhere. Y'all want change? Y'all want racism to end? It starts with us coming together. But we cannot come together if we continue to live in a society where we've normalized Black people only fighting for certain Black lives. Emphasis on certain Black lives. You cannot say Black Lives Matter and exclude gay Black lives, or dark-skinned women, or women with 4C hair, or women with Afrocentric features. That's not how it works. You stand for the whole community, or you shut the fuck up. You have to have M&Ms for brain cells to think that we can overcome racism with how our community looks right now. Start holding other Black people accountable. Start having those conversations about the issues in our community. The quicker we do that, the quicker we can solve it. The quicker we can come together and take our power back. But it starts with y'all. Sorry, not sorry.
If you sleep with somebody and the next day you feel different, you feel weird, you procrastinate, you being lazy, you doing this, you doing that, it's because whoever you slept with got that energy and that spirit on them. Story time. So I was sleeping with this guy. We were like really cool. We were business partners, and literally we wasn't in a relationship. We knew that. Like, we may just slip up and do it here and there. But this particular time we slipped up and did it, it was like, okay, the next day I didn't go to bed until like 7, 8 a.m. So the spirit ain't come on me the day after we slept together, because it was just like I was still woke. I was out partying. I didn't go to bed till the following day. So 2 days after we slept together. And when I tell y'all, I was only asleep for 30 minutes. This spirit, and I'm just getting chills. I'm getting sick. Like, I'm feeling weird even talking about it. It got on me, y'all, and it was so ugly in my dream. Like, our grandparents and our parents be like, you can't just be sleeping, lay down with dog, you get fleas. They basically meaning you lay down with something that ain't no good for you, you picking up everything that dog got. And it's like, when I tell y'all, after I was sleeping with him, I had a lustful spirit. Like, I just wanted to just keep getting it in. I was like just continuously wanting to listen to secular music. That demon was up in me. But when I finally was able to go to sleep when it was night and still dark from like partying, it got up in me, and it was like I had to fight back. Like, it was suffocating me in my dream. Like, I woke up, I could not breathe. This feel like a movie the way I'm telling you, but it's real life, and it's on everything that I love. And it's like I'm telling this story because I was gonna keep it to myself to just help somebody out. Like, if you're continuously sleeping with somebody, they didn't make you their only person that you're sleeping with, or they're not like trying to become better in life or make better decisions or stop doing something that just doesn't align with you, cut it all. Because Sinners, that movie, is real. Like, your life can supposed to be going down this street by you continuously to mess with something that God or somebody that God does not have for you, and you would end up down this street and your whole life would be done. Like, I don't care how good he look, she look, how fat her butt is, how big his is. Leave it alone. Don't mess up your life for 5 minutes, or even if y'all can do it for 1 hour. That's temporary. Do not. Because I'm looking at this man's life right now, and it's just like nothing is working out for him. And he swear that like, oh, I pray, I do this. Dude is messed up. And like, girls is so focused on what they see on the outside, but this man is really messed up in the inside. Don't worry about how much money somebody got. Don't worry about how good they look. If it don't feel right, it ain't right.